The memory is like this. My family would get in the car nearly every weekend and follow a long, windy road that took us over some bodies of water and snaking alongside a river. And on the drive to the breakfast spot, we'd pass an island that spurred my curiosity and raised questions in my adolescent mind that would linger on. Questions I wouldn't attempt to answer until now. The island, as I remember it, was really small and narrow, not much more than a towhead. It sat in the middle of the Thornapple River, at a point where the river seemed barely wide enough to contain such an island, and yet there it was. In fact, I remember 3 distinct islands clustered together, one tiny island in the middle of 2 long skinny ones. On the upstream one, among the trees, there was a house. It wasn't the kind of island you'd expect to see a house on, and this building was actually quite large. It seemed to take up all the width of the land. As far as I've found, the island doesn't have a name, so there isn't much else to find out about it. Pinpointing an address led to a few search results. I was surprised to see a real estate listing valuing the house at less than $4,000 in 2012. That same listing said it was now worth more than $300,000. As I scoured, I turned up little more than online chatter. People recalling having been on the island for parties, claims that it is abandoned, and some back and forth about whether flooding was a regular occurrence. But really nothing substantial, until I came across the name Frederick Kirtland Wykes. Wykes was an artist born and educated in Michigan. Shortly after marrying his wife Frances in the late 20s, they built the homestead on this unnamed Thornapple River island of river rock and old bridge timbers. They raised 2 children there. Frederick had an illustrious art career, signing up for the WPA, doing murals, and throughout his whole life painting watercolor landscapes from across the United States and south into Mexico and the Bahamas. A lot of his work depicts homes near or on the water, with boats. It's not clear when Wykes sold his island home. He died the same year that I was born, in 1982, and is buried in a cemetery about a quarter mile from the island. Whether the island is occupied is uncertain, but the home on it appears to be kept up. I found a sketch in the records that show the house having a workshop, greenhouse, and several bedrooms. It appears that additions have been made to the original structure. There's a small driveway off of the main road on the mainland, which is the access point. I remember seeing a rope going from there to the island, used to pull a small raft back and forth for easy access. It's barely an island, but I suppose this makes it feel more like one.